So let's open your Bible, 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 7 through 11. Okay? 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. I'm going to read it for you guys. The end of all things is at hand. Therefore, be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayer. Verse 8, above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of the sins. Verse 9, to show hospitality to one another without the grumbling. As each has received the gift, to use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Whoever speaks as one who speaks the oracles of God. Whoever serves as the one who serves by the strength that God supplies, in order that in everything God may be glorified through Jesus Christ. To him belong glory and dominions forever and ever. All God's people say, Amen. About 3 days ago, I got a phone call from my friend. I shared with you guys the church a little bit about this friend before. And he got a lung cancer, okay? And unfortunately, he suddenly passed away 3 days ago. In the last month, we couldn't visit him for prayer because I got a lot of the things to do. And then pretty much, end of the semester, then I need to deal with a lot of the stuff that have to done. Pretty much, that is kind of like a busy season. And it was about 2 weeks ago when he experienced severe pain. He went to the emergency room, and the only thing that I can do is just pray throughout the phone call, though. And as Harmony just asked me about the visited short time, and visited his house. But this is kind of like my excuse myself, graduation and the kind of busy season, and my visitation at his home was a little bit delayed. So I just thinking about the last week I may visit him, just pray about it, but too late, and then I got a phone call indicating he passed away suddenly in this morning. It's about a Friday morning, and I just got a phone call. Then He was not a Korean friend, but he's a seminary friend that we used to work together and study together at that time. And we know that because my last one was born just a week after his son was born. So he just turned into the one, only wife, and this 1-year-old infant left. He just passed away. He went to the arms of the Lord in heaven right now. And then there was 2 things that I felt throughout this time. Number one, I just felt like I do not hesitate anything, since there is no tomorrow. I don't have to just hesitate. Anything that I just feel that I got impressed to do, don't hesitate, because there is no tomorrow. If you feel like let's do it, then there is no time, no opportunity that we grasp it. So I just felt that way. And the second thing is, because of this, there is no tomorrow. We have to do our best every single moment. So I meditated this passage through the weekend, and I shared a little bit about what I felt and I learned about my closest friends that passed away and their death. And I'm going to give you guys a short message at this moment, with the title, There Is No Tomorrow. Okay? When the first Peter, this episode, we just read it, this Peter was written, that was the severe persecution against the Christian and the churches. The name is Nero, right? Empire Nero. He was the one empire of the Rome who killed and murdered and persecuted Christianity in the early period. And we know that at that time, a lot of the Christians, just because the reason that you are a Christian, you have a faith in Jesus Christ, they got killed and murdered. That situation. So in this kind of a situation, all the Christians, the early Christians, don't have any tomorrow time. So they don't know what's going on, what happened tomorrow. And the situation must be depressive and no hope that there is no tomorrow. That's why, they are, having no hope and no tomorrow, right? Their life without any hope, it should be no tomorrow life. And in this situation, and Peter, at this moment, wrote this letter to the church to encourage them like this. Okay? We're going to just walking through verse 7 through 11 right now. And in verse 7, he says, the end of all things is at hand. Verse 7, he says, the end of all things is at hand. Peter indicates that the time we are living is the end time. Okay? It shows the urgency, and it shows the last thing that Peter states as the most important words, I'm just giving you guys the most important words, because this is the last time and this is the last word of mine. So you have to keep it your mind and just listen, because this is kind of an urgency thing that you have to keep in your mind. And then you have to listen. So many of the time that you got friends and your parents and things like that, maybe right before that, you guys are really, really carefully listen, because that is the last word of your really important people like our parents and friends, right? Even if right before your friend's death, and are you just listening no matter what that is, No, because that's the last word. That person who's gonna face to the death, they're gonna state the most important word they can speak. They share with the people. Peter, he noticed that and indicate the end of all things is at hand. So that means he's going to state the last word to the people right now. In this statement, in the end of all things is at hand, he encouraged the 4 things. Number 1, be equipped spiritually. Repeat after me. Be equipped spiritually. Peter indicates like this in verse 7 is in the end of all things at hand, therefore be self-controlled and sober-minded for the sake of your prayer. Because of this end of time, we got to do this. Be self-controlled, be sober-minded. The purpose is for the sake of your prayer. It means that you got to be equipped spiritually. Many times even Christians become a do and a numb about your spiritual life. They hesitate to pray. They hesitate to be equipped spiritually. They kind of don't have any sense to feel what's going on in the spiritual world on it. Interesting fact is that there must be 2 extreme phenomena we are facing right now. And physical people and spiritual people are really distinguishable at that time. Right now, pretty much the same thing. In the end of the time that we are close to the end time, and there is only 2 types of the people. Physical people and spiritual people. Who is a physical people? The world pursued a more physical desire. They may just find out some of the more sensitivity of their physical desire, maybe sex or money or some of the fame or things like that. They're really focused on the earth. But in the opposite way, then who is the spiritual people? Who are they? They're more pursue and desire spiritual thing. Why? Because we're made it, and also we created by God's hands as the spiritual being. There must be two phenomena that we are experiencing, physical people and spiritual people. And that's why people, we should careful about and then makes a sense of it, in the end of the times, the phenomena, which group are you get in? That's why Peter is the first to command in the most important thing that he encouraged the people and the church. Hey guys, you guys, be self-controlled and sober-minded because you got to be equipped spiritually for the sake of your grace. So be equipped spiritually. That's the first command. What's the second thing? What's the second commandment? Peter really encouraged the church. Repeat after me. Love earnestly. One more time. Love earnestly. In verse 8 it says, above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since the love covers a multitude of the sins. I don't need to spend much time to explain this part. Love one another. Keep loving one another earnestly. Loving each other more sincerely and faithfully and earnestly. That's why we need to do it. Like, love earnestly one another. Because the love is going down and the people hate each other. And also there is no love. Even like, husband and wife, that they don't love each other. What is the love? What is the loving one another earnestly? Jesus Christ just showed us the best example that how to love earnestly, others. Right? Sacrifice yourself. Get rid of any selfish-minded, life. But more just focus on what they need, what really others wants to do, and that you guys loving each other, just supporting and also praying and giving whatever you guys have. That's a kind of a love. But Peter just really encouraged the love earnestly. At your best, love earnestly. Can we see each other? I don't know. We have some of couples. I have my wife, but can you ask one another do you love me? We have some of the game do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love this person? And do you love this hobby? This person? And then do you love Eno? Do you love Pastor David? Do you love someone and all the people? But let me ask you guys an honest question. Do you love one another earnestly like you can sacrifice? You can commit your life, and then you can just give it away. All the things that you have, can you love them much, one another, in Jesus Christ? Peter points out, love earnestly means you love as best as you can, even more than you can afford to love one another. Do your best to love faithfully, earnestly, and sincerely. Love each other earnestly. And the third command of the Peter here, repeat after me: serve. One more time: serve. And based on your spiritual equipment and love, if Peter encouraged to serve one another. Verse 9, he says, show hospitality to one another without grumbling. Without grumbling means your willingness, right? I don't want to do it, but Pastor David just asked me to serve. No. From your heart's willingness that you serve whatever you want. So one thing that I just feel like when we started dating with Harmony, okay, we have a couples and we have maybe in a short time we have a marriage couple, but hope so and pray about it. And when I just fell in love with Harmony, then I don't know. My service is just based on my willingness. Even she didn't ask me about would you please do this, do this, do this. I just want to serve the willingness from my heart. Even nobody really asked me about can you spend the time with her, and then can you sacrifice and then commit it to your time and your energy and your money and whatever you want to, can you serve for her? My willingness is filled with the full that you don't need to ask about it, because service and serving somebody else with the love is a kind of an easy thing, right? Do you guys really serve one another without grumbling? That is that. That is the one I'm saying. And Peter really asks you guys, without grumbling, serve one another. And just think about the Jesus. Just think about the sacrifices. Just think about the crucifixion of the Jesus Christ. How he served. How he showed his hospitality and service of the hands to his people. He served until he died. He sacrificed his life. He served willingly for people. And lastly, use your spiritual gift properly. Let's look at the verse 10 and 11. Anybody just read it for us representatively? Verse 10, 11. Ready? Brandon, thank you.
As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards of God's varied grace. Whoever speaks as one who speaks oracles of God, whoever serves as one who serves by the strength that God supplies, in order that in everything God may be glorified through Jesus Christ. To him belong glory and dominion forever and ever.
Amen. God gives to each person their own spiritual gift. As Peter states in verse 10 and 11, God grants that this is spiritual gift for two reasons, two purposes. Number one, edification. What does that mean by the edification? You guys use your spiritual gift to build your body. It means look at each other. This is your body. This is your church. This is the thing that you guys have to edify and build it up to your community, right? And the second purpose is glorifying God. Two purposes, edification and glorification. So you guys are building up the horizontal relationship, that you build it up to your people, and you use your spiritual gift to have it, just has the spiritual gift of the music, and she just playing and leading the praise. And sometimes you guys have serving hands, so you guys are just to use properly your spiritual gift. Some of you guys may have some of the things that you can do for the church. You use it properly for building up the body. And at that, building of the body maybe reach to the ultimate goal of the glorifying God's name. That's the two purposes that Peter stated on this spiritual gift. But more important thing is that not just the using your spiritual gift, but for the purpose that use your talent and your spiritual gifts, properly. Let me give you guys some of the things that I can give you guys. It's some of the illustration that my friends have really experienced. The proper way to use the spiritual gift. My American friend, his name is Jedediah, shared his own story. When he was young, he's a PK too, like he's a pastor kid. And his dad put him into the choir ministry. Okay? Choir ministry. What you guys expected from him when you guys are in a choir? He should be singing, right? He should sing some way then, beautiful voice and beautiful things. But, problem is here. The reason the dad put him into the choir ministry because there's a lack of the people. But I know my friend Jedediah, he is a tone deaf person. That means, umchi, right? I can't even hear that. Even when he's singing, not just the bad, that's horrible. Okay? That's the horrible. Even like, I don't know, he speaks something like, is it the speaking or singing? He says singing, but he is a tone deaf person. Okay? But every Sunday, he sing and do the choir thing because his dad, he's the Presbyterian pastor, Omega Presbyterian pastor. Just think about it, very strict. And then command him to do it, though there is a no against the no option that he has. At a time, my friend Jedediah, he learned something. Lip sync. Do you know the lip sync on what that is? He's a master of the lip sync. He called himself, he is a fake singer. Okay? Whenever just, with the face, expression was great. But thing is, he never sing out loud. And his voice is a lot. But everybody really impressed by his facial expression. But he is he is singing lip sync. He is a master of the lip sync. Let me bring it up the next time. He's gonna showing it. When he was the college, college show talent or things like that. When he just started the lip sync, everybody just laughed because that is a real facial expression and singing and motion, all the thing. But problem is he is a fake singer. Do you think he's the talent? He's the spiritual gift is properly used? No, I don't think so. I'm bringing up the really bad example. It is a funny story, but one of the bad example of the improper use of your spiritual gift. I really encourage you guys. We have two purposes of the use of your spiritual gift. Number one, edification, build up your body and glorify God. And the second purpose, but use your spiritual gift properly and properly and properly. During this passage, Peter encouraged the early church Christians from no tomorrow situation. Their situation is under great persecution of the Nero, and their situation is hopeless, and they're living in no tomorrow. However, their no tomorrow situation encouraged them to live for no tomorrow. What that means? What does that mean by that? Just like there is no tomorrow, they do their best, be equipped spiritually, love earnestly, serve one another, use the spiritual gift properly. But all these things that have been done by their best attitude, their best action, and their best trials, like there is no tomorrow. Even your situation is hopeless, like there is no tomorrow. But we're gonna turn into the greatest opportunity. We do our best. There is no tomorrow. We're gonna live our life no tomorrow. We're gonna love one another like no tomorrow. We're gonna live our God like no tomorrow. Do our best like there is no tomorrow. Church, I experienced some of the things that I just feel really earnestly, urgently. There is no tomorrow. Because my friend, gone. Without meeting. I had a lot of the opportunity. Because I just delay and I just excuse myself, it's kind of a busy day. But if I already know, if I just knew he's gone, then I should have visited him before he's passed away. But through this time that I just, learned something from God. Because there is no tomorrow, I have to live this life, do my best, and I love each other. And I serve my best. And I be equipped, spiritually. And I use my spiritual gift properly. And I build up our body. And I glorify God forever and ever. At this moment, I really encourage you guys. Because there is no tomorrow. Let's do our best. Every single moment of your life. Let's pray.